Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic we are going to have for a brief discussion is on the knowledge of psychic. That is the topic of discussion for this glorious morning. So sky looks somehow clear. Still presence of cloudy. Presence of cloud you can see. On this cloudy morning, we can see the presence of the psychic being. Everywhere you can find stormy. Everything you can find, the things are smoky. Almost you can find, you think there is no hope. Still, then be silent, go deep within. You can discover the psychic being. It is well inside you. It is its come here as soul for the to take experience and of course develop and progress. Here we are going to have a brief discussion from mother's writing on the knowledge of psychic. That is the topic of discussion, the knowledge of the psychic. We know psychic being, it is whole the way soul, the spark of the divine. So it has come down not only during this birth after birth, it keeps coming. The purpose is, to gather experience. That is it is evolutionary. It has its evolution. So it gathers momentum while progressing through the track. So, the major thing you must know, psychic being is here to rule the mind, life, and body. Psychic being has come down, descended here with the mind, life, and body, which are almost instruments. But here, the outwardly, superficially, externally, we can find mind, life, body. They are actually controlling the earth, and on the other hand, you can find this psychic being is seems to be passive. It is hidden behind the veil, concealed. So it has to come out. There is no other go. So far, this integral yoga is concerned. So in this integral yoga, you can find psychic plays a prominent role. There is no doubt of it. We can find the knowledge of psychic. When can we have the how can we have the knowledge of the psychic? The other course, the perception of the exterior consciousness may deny the perception of the psychic. Very clear. In single sentence, mother has clarified a lot of things. If you are in the external consciousness, staying on the surface, if you are looking things superficially, so perception of psychic being will be far from being coming to your knowledge. So perception of the exterior consciousness may deny. You can know the thing, that word deny the perception of the psychic being. It can't be able to, it can't make you visible the presence and perception of the psychic being. So but the psychic has the true knowledge. Psychic has the true knowledge, intuitive and instinctive knowledge. You must know two types of knowledge you can find that psychic being is having. It has got its knowledge because it is the spark of the absolute, spark of the divine. Definitely it has got knowledge not of our own, no, of our own, what we are really handling, but it is the intuitive knowledge and instinctive knowledge. It says most of the time you will be able to hear it if you are that much particular. You can hear, I am not mental, based on experience or proved true. So it does not believe. It does not believe after proofs, because it is true in its own regard, in its own way. Mother course here, for for its knowledge is its knowledge is not mental knowledge, mental biased. Not in ordinary, mentally we analyze and of course see everything in our mental circumstances. With the mental biasing, we see and observe everything. But thing is that so far the psychic is concerned, nothing depends upon the mental bias. It is beyond mind. If you follow your mind, it will not recognize the mother even when she is manifest before you. Mind is the, mediator divinity. So mind, a glorious traveler in the sky. It was when it was on the top, it was a glorious traveler traveling like anything. But when it came down, walks lamely on earth with a footstep slow. The footstep has been slower. So the proofs here, the so far the psychic is concerned, that proofs are not necessary. Faith is the movement of the soul. So here, nothing on the, not the mental bias, but actually you can find the faith creates. Faith plays a major role in it. So whose knowledge is spontaneous and direct. So you can find, with the mind you can't study the psychic truths, the psychic beings. But the thing is that with the faith you can know, because psychic, everything psychic phenomenon is totally different from the mental biasing. So faith is plays a prominent role here. The faith is the movement of the soul. Faith is the movement of the soul, and whose knowledge is spontaneous and direct. Even if the whole world denies and brings forward a thousand proofs on the contrary, still it knows by the inner knowledge. It never based on the proofs, mental biasing. Never it is based upon. The thing is that on which it is based, it is actually definitely known to be the inner knowledge. So that must be there. Your inner knowledge plays a prominent role. So this faith plays a greater role for this one. So a direct perception that can stand against everything. Direct perception that can stand against everything. A perception by identity, very important, very important term, phrase usually Sri Aurobindo has used, mother has used here. Perception by identity, very interesting. Perception by identity, that plays a major role here. We can go a little forward. The knowledge of the psyche is something which is concrete and tangible. But here the mental knowledge which really we have, normally we have, that is actually fluctuating. It varies every time. Now itself it is true for me, after some time you can find totally different. So the knowledge of the psychic is something which is concrete and tangible. And the knowledge of the mind, that is actually not concrete, not tangible, intangible, and in on non-concrete, it is actually false, fallacious. So solid mass, very interesting. Mother course three things: one is concrete, second is tangible, and the third is solid mass. Very interesting. You can also bring it into the mental, your vital, your physical, three ways. Then you have the integral faith. That is what faith already we have discussed. Movement of the soul whose knowledge is spontaneous and direct. Here, so far this psychic is concerned, psychic phenomenon, psychic law, psychic movement are concerned, faith plays a greater role. Here we can find integral faith, a faith which is really which can really move the mountain. That faith must be there. So far these psychic elements are concerned, whenever you are moving with the psychic things. So that is the great thing. We can have a look. So this knowledge of the psychic, it plays the major role, but actually we are almost confined to the external superficial knowledge, for which actually things are moving away from us. We are not aware of, because almost knowledge, whatever you know, that is the mental things. It is on the staying on the surface. And so now itself it is tangible, concrete for us. After some time you can find these are actually totally fallacious, based on upon our previous view. Everything, something you planned and you achieved yesterday, today you contradict the same thing in your same mind. It is very phenomenally, and most often you see that is the thing. But the truth of the psychic, When the knowledge of the psychic, it is very much concrete, tangible, very much solid. So it can move this faith, integral faith, not in the faith of only of either of mental, vital, and physical. There must be an integral faith you can find. With this integral faith, you can go very decidingly. We can move forward. There is no doubt of it. And Sri Aurobindo, of course, quotes a few lines here. We can find there is no conversion without awakening of the psychic being. So there is no conversion, because this yoga, so far this integral yoga is concerned, we have known transformation, perfection. For that, actually, Sri Aurobindo and Mother, the Divine Master and the Divine Mother, they have tried a lot, they have achieved a lot. Of course, they have worked a lot, very hard things they have achieved through their sadhana. But the thing is that they have categorically they have explained that psychic plays the prominent role. Without psychic, really nothing greater can be done. So this can be done in other way. We have seen can't be done without an unaided effort. With so some aided effort must be there. Otherwise, man's force is too neglected, too little, too confined, too small. With his man's force, he can't achieve anything. So there is no conversion without awakening of the psychic being. Awakening of the psychic being. As long as it is not happening, really the true conversion, true transformation, it is next to impossible. So everything that is the province, that is the work of the psychic being. That is that for that actually the psychic is here in behind the heart center working, and it is very much vigilant. It has to come out. We must have the aspiration and opening, and that intangible in that superior faith, integral faith must be there. So otherwise very difficult to succeed in the sadhana. And everything is there inside you. You have to borrow nothing, you have to buy nothing, you have to search for nothing outside, everything inside you. So a psychic fire within must be lit. Problem is that this fire is there, psychic fire, chaitagni, you have seen. So that is there, but actually in the unlit condition, in the unlit temple, you have seen the psychic fire within must be lit. There is no other go. It has to be lit inside us. Body is made beautiful by the spirit's glow. So must be made beautiful, not with this outer cosmetics, soap, shampoo, or body shampoo. It is not like this herbal or cosmetics, chemical. It is does not relate on that aspect. It is actually the spirits made beautiful by the indwelling God, irrespective of your age and all. When this power, this glow is there, you can have a greater success, greater power. So this psychic power within must be lit into which all must be thrown in the divine name on it. Already we have seen, like that Setubandha that was being constructed in Treta Yuga by for the rescue of Sita on the across the sea. That time you have seen Ram on every stone. Ram Nam was written, and this was being touched by Nala and Dida. It was thrown into the sea. And as this Varun Dev promised, the Lord of these seas promised not to drown, not to flow away. So these were actually actually it was floating on the sea surface, because on the name Ram Nam was written on it. So like this, psychic fire must be burnt. It is burn this power of the characteristic of this fire. That is to give light and heat. It has to guide, and it has to burn everything. So here the psychic fire must be lit. Only in the unlit condition it is there. How can it burn? So this psychic fire must be lit, into which all is thrown with the divine name upon it. Divine name must be written upon it. That is what psychic sadness is. Purity offended. Most of the time we feel sadness is there. It is very much prominent. We can find in the outward circumstances. In the normal condition, psychic sadness is purity offended. The psychic fire fails in strangling and vital smoke, as the smoke actually covers the entire hearth. Whenever the morning you are lighting it up. But thing is that Once it is the smoke is the sure sign that fire is somewhere. Otherwise, without fire, the smoke cannot come. So there is a little hope. Winter is the surest sign that spring is coming. So it is there, definitely it is there, but actually strangling there itself, initially you can find smokes. So here also you can find smokes, but actually strangling vital smokes. It is actually tries to cover up with this with the influence of this bad influence of this strangling vital smoke. The psychic fire fails. It fails to come out. That is the problem with this psychic being, purity you can find. If you leave it to the god to purify, he will, that is your surrender. Leave it to the god to purify, he will adjust the evil in you, subjectively, as per his condition, as per his requirement. He will simply adjust the evil in you. But if you insist in guiding yourself, if you without letting the divine to do everything, if you do everything of your own without surrendering, you try to guide yourself, you will fall into the much outward suffering, because your knowledge is limited, your power is limited, your everything is limited. So you can do better, you surrender, and god will purify everything. So you must keep the temple clean if you wish to install there the living presence. That is the requirement. Knowledge of the psyche must be there. In Savitri you have seen the a power ill heard shall speak, the soul obey. A power into mind's inner chamber still. Beauty suppressed burst into paradise bloom. That is the outcome. Earth grows unexpectedly divine with the awakening of the psychic being. Everything is possible, but thing is that you have to do nothing. You have to do nothing. Everything inside you. That's what you have to only aspire for. The purer soul has an easier access to the divine. It has got an easier access to the divine. Only the soul that is naked and unashamed. Soul, it is inside you, you have not seen. So, steer in the course. Only the soul that is naked and unashamed. It is coming to the front, not hiding itself behind the veils. So, can be pure and innocent. That is the condition, that is the requirement. Even as Adam was in the primal garden of humanity. From Adam and Eve, this creation has rose. You have seen, you have heard of course, you have listened, you trust in it. So he was naked, not actually under the covers, under the veils. He was not putting on jeans or jacket, something like this. So this soul must be that is naked and unashamed, is pure and innocent. Example, like Adam was in the primal garden of humanity. Purity is in thy soul, but for actions. Where is the purity or impurity? It is there with the God. Where there is divine, there is nothing impurity, no sin, like no darkness. So it is a good topic. I think it will be helpful to you in your sadhana. Bande Mataram.